Hello and welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel, and in today's episode for your Saturday special we're going to be looking at the special edition Austin Allegro Special LE. Hello and welcome back, and if you're new to Quarterlight, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond that as well. So if you're interested in cars, looking back at cars gone by or indeed car brochures, please consider subscribing. It is completely free. Now in today's episode, which was first aired on a Saturday, we call those episodes Saturday special episodes because we look at various different special edition models. Today, no exception, we're looking at the Austin Allegro Special LE. Now most special editions are usually run out models. You know, there's about to be a facelift, or indeed the car itself has come to the end of its life, just to boost the sales at the end, get rid of the last of the models. This one is slightly different because it's more sort of like a midlife boost to what would have been a well-established model at this time. Anyway, we'll throw the brochure on the board and have a look and see exactly what you got. So here is today's brochure. It says at the top there, for a limited view, unlimited value, the Allegro Special LE. Now this was released by British Leyland on the 5th of April 1978, and for those who are interested, it cost £2,965.95. Certainly not too many of these special or indeed limited edition LE limited edition models. I think around about 6,800 of these left the factory. Now I always think about these as being in this green colour, Tara green, which I think suits it, and of course because it's a special or limited edition it gets a rather lovely stripe down the side. How very 70s. Like I say, I always think of it in this colour, but there were actually two colours. There's rather a nice blue colour as well. Let's just zoom in a little bit further on the main image. And then as we sort of zoom in there, we can have a better look at that quite big side stripe. Like I say, a very 70s thing that, isn't it? But it's quite well equipped actually for the 70s, I think, in a special edition. We get a driver and passenger door mirror. Oh, so what, we say today. But in the 70s, you know, only kind of like usually the higher up models used to get sort of passenger side door mirrors. We've also got these rather nice twin fog lamps on there as well, and the observant will notice head restraints at a time when you really didn't have to have head restraints. So overall, I think a particularly nice special edition actually. The Allegro, very much a love it or hate it car. I've always quite had a bit of a soft spot for the Allegro. I've always quite liked the design, even though it wasn't really as it was intended. I know a lot of people really hate these, but you know, I would quite happily drive around in one of these today. Anyway, let's open the brochure up and see what else the Special LE had to offer. As we open the brochure, we can see text, we can have a quick look at the interior and our first glimpse at the second colour, this blue example here, astral blue that is. And like I say, 78 this is, but I always think about metallic greens, metallic blues as being more of an early 80s colour, so I think they would look quite striking at the time. Anyway, we'll read the text, see exactly what we got on this special edition, then we'll come back to these main images. So we can see on the introduction here, it starts actually a bit strangely. It's strangely written, I think, the first paragraph. It says, the Allegro range always gives you tough dependability, unexpected comfort, and big petrol and running economy. Now, for a limited period, we're taking the Allegro concept of value even further in the car of a lifetime, the Allegro 1500 Special Limited Edition. On a limited number of cars, a range of extra luxuries have been fitted as standard, all included in the showroom price. just look at the value you get in an Allegro Special Limited Edition. Outside, a choice of two metallic colours, Tara Green with beige interior or Astral Blue with black interior and silver grey seat facings. A discreet, unique side stripe incorporating the limited edition insignia. All-round tinted glass, black door cappings, wiper arms and blades, door sill tread strips, a passenger door mirror, twin front fog lamps, a boot light, lockable fuel cap, wider 155 by 13 tyres with steel trim rings. I mean, things like lockable fuel cap, again, doesn't sound much, but then it was certainly a bit of a thing. It then goes on to tell us, inside, striped luxury fabric reclining seats with front head restraints, a leather bound steering wheel, a push button radio, tachometer, additional sound insulation. And I think they're quite nice features. You get a radio, which certainly wasn't something you would get a standard, and even a tachometer. So I think overall it was actually quite a nice special edition, and certainly seemed to get more on this than you did with Ford special editions at the time. All these features are included in the price of an Allegro 1500 Special Limited Edition. Take the test drive of a lifetime. We'll be happy to arrange trade-in and finance details for you. You could end up driving one of the most exclusive cars in Britain. And then just going back to the main image, there are the two colours, so Tara Green and Astral Blue. I wonder which one you would have chosen. Like I say, I always think about this particular special limited edition being in green, but I do quite like the blue example there as well. Interior, pleasant, I think. You get the head restraints, which is nice. You get sort of like the armrest for the back, so for the time it would have felt like a little bit more upmarket. I mean, you even get a radio in there, and of course a tachometer. Things you may not get on other cars at this particular time. So there we go, that's kind of like your main details for this particular special edition model. Now just going back, I did say there were 6,800 that left the factory. I've got no figures on how many of each colour were produced though. I wonder which one did sell more. Like I say, I always think about this green one, and I know there's still a very nice example in this green still on the road, although overall I'm sure there aren't too many of these special LEs still left today. Now if we turn to the back page, it does show the specifications, so we'll have a look at that now. Okay, so like I said, specifications on the back page. I wonder if it's because of the lettering, Allegro 1500 Special LE. Maybe that's why I always think about them in green. I don't know. Anyway, let's have a look at the specifications and learn a bit more. So engine, we get a 4-cylinder transverse overhead camshaft, and that is a 1485cc, 68 bhp at 5500 revs per minute. Moving down the specs, it does show we have a 5-speed gearbox, which I think is nice about the Allegro, and I think having a 5-speed gearbox in the 70s is certainly a nice thing to have. I certainly would think if you had a 5-speed gearbox in the 70s, it would be hard to move back to 4-speed, and there were certainly lots of 4-speed gearboxed cars even in the 80s. Anyway, it goes on to tell us it is of course front-wheel drive. Steering is rack and pinion, those wheels are pressed steel, and then the brakes dual line diagonal split, hydraulically operated with servo assistance. We've got discs at the front, drums at the rear. Suspension, of course, it's British Leyland, so using that hydrogas suspension units, interconnected front and rear, and of course the electrical is all 12 volt. And then it continues talking about the electrical by saying it's a pre-engaged starter motor, electric windscreen washers, 2-speed windscreen wipers, electrically heated rear window, hazard warning lamps, cigar lighter, twin horns, reversing lamps, boot lamp, fog lamps and a radio. And then instruments, we get a speedometer, water temperature and fuel gauges, tachometer, warning lamps to show low oil pressure, headlamp main beam, flashers, hazard lamps working, no charge, heated rear window on, brake line failure. Okay, so the coachwork, it's a 4-seater, 4-door special saloon available in astral blue metallic with silver grey stripe, nylon fabric seat facings or Tara green metallic with beige stripe nylon fabric seat facings. We get reclined front seats, head restraints, rear seat centre armrest, tinted windscreen and windows, side stripes, lockable fuel filler cap, black door frame cappings, wheel trims, twin black door mirrors, black wiper arms and blades, sill tread strips, sound insulation, pile carpet floor coverings, and then it gives the dimensions at the bottom here. At the bottom here we get sort of like the British Leyland plug hole of dismay, you could say. The Austin Allegro Special LE for a limited period, the Allegro of a lifetime. And then we've got Leyland cards, a little bit of an address and postcode at the bottom there, and then in tiny writing at the bottom. This particular one is lithographed by the Newfield Press Limited, Cowley, Oxford, England, and the publication number for this brochure, which is 3322. So there we go, the Austin Allegro Special LE. Whether you love it or hate it, the Allegros in general, I must admit I quite like them, but I know some people don't. There's no arguing the fact that this is a particularly interesting special edition. I always like the 70s special editions, they always seem a little bit unusual. This seems quite well equipped, and of course, it's the 70s, it's a special limited edition. We have to have a big side stripe. I wonder which colour you would have chosen between the two. I like the blue, but I think I probably would have gone for that green actually, just to be something a little bit different. But certainly thank you once again for watching Quartzlight today and your special edition and your limited edition, special edition, limited edition. This one's a special limited edition. There we go. But like I say, thank you so much for watching today. Many more episodes, of course, to come in the near future. We're going to try and do special edition Saturdays. Been a bit hit and miss over the summer. It's been a busy time, but I think we're going to try and start doing them every Saturday again. So thank you for your patience with that. Full schedule back underway. Fingers crossed. Like I said, thank you for watching, and I must also say, as always, thank you to everyone who is supporting the channel, whether that's through watching the videos, liking the videos and subscribing. Whatever it does, that all helps support the channel, and certainly thank you most of all to the people who've subscribed. If you're not subscribed already, please consider doing so. It is completely free. Also a big thank you to those who are Quartzlight members. That's really appreciated. If you want to do that, have a look at the home page. It's only a very small fee each month, and like I said, that really does help give you better content and more variety in the brochures. We'll end by saying thank you so much, have a great weekend, we'll see you very soon, and goodbye.